She was born with the sweet, innocent name of Tara Patrick and changed it at 19 to a hot, sexy one, Carmen Electra. She did it at the request of her first name-changing mentor, the artist formerly known as Prince. He signed her to a record deal which fizzled, but after a sexy layout in Playboy, she sizzled. She's replaced Pamela Anderson Lee on Baywatch, Jenny McCarthy on MTV's Singled Out, and had a short but fascinating marriage to cross-dressing basketball star Dennis Rodman. She's been arrested and arresting. She claims that she mothered the giant Rodman, who she refers to as a little boy, and she's also had her share of heartache. In 1998, her marriage broke up and she suffered the loss of her sister to a heart attack, her mother to a brain tumor, all in the same week. Her latest project is a spoof of a horror film called Scary Movie, in which she stars with the Wayans brothers. She's known for her stunning exterior, but recently I had a chance to get to know a little about the interior. Her name is Carmen Electra. You were born with the name of Tara Patrick.
Yes.
But you changed it. Why? It's such a great name. It's such a it's like Scarlett O'Hara, you know?
Yeah, my name is Tara Lee Patrick. When I was 18 years old, I saved up my money and I flew to Los Angeles, and I met Prince. And he signed me to a record deal with Paisley Park Records. And during the time that my album was going to come out, there was an artist out by the name of Tara who had a hit during that time. And so, we were sitting around and, I thought, maybe we should come up with a name. And I thought it would be kind of fun because I always felt like the Tara side of me is that more shy, innocent person that's afraid to take chances. And so,
what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. But honestly, I think that I wouldn't, without that other side of me, the side that keeps fighting through hard times, through the rejection of auditions and being in this business, that I probably would have went back to Cincinnati
if
and
you
started a family and just, not if I would have kept the name, but I think it just, in my mind, I can separate the two and say, okay, Tara is that more soft, sensitive person. And the Carmen side is that one, the person that doesn't take no for an answer, the fighter, and right. I kind of see the two in myself, definitely.
Now, as you get older, does one become more dominant, one personality? Does the Carmen personality become, are you becoming that Carmen Electra character that you created?
I think for a long time I was, even through, I lost my mother to cancer, and my sister died within a week. She had a heart attack in her sleep at 40 years old. And during that time, I sort of put up this wall, I became really numb. And it's almost like I was being that side of me, the Carmen side of me, the side that doesn't care what anyone thinks, the side that feels no pain, And what I've learned is that it's okay to feel pain. And if you don't, you can cause cancers in your body. And with cancer hitting so close to home, I think about that. And I've read so many times you're supposed to release your emotions, never to hold things in. And I think that side of me did, I thought I was Superwoman and that, oh, nothing can hurt me, that doesn't bother me. In all actuality, it really does. I'm just ignoring it.
So what was the precipitating thing that made you realize that?
Actually I was watching Oprah, and she said, in order to heal, you have to feel. And I realized that I wasn't...
Did you have a nervous breakdown in the middle of the Oprah show?
You would think, right?
I watch Oprah reruns in the middle of the night. I'm like, I love you, Oprah.
Oh, I cry all the time when I watch that show. I get so emotional. I think it was just a series of things that were happening in my life. And I realized that I couldn't blame it on Dennis. I couldn't blame it on anyone else. I had to start blaming myself. And because if you're with someone, if you choose to be with someone and you know they're controversial and you know they live this lifestyle, then you're putting yourself in that position. And I used to say, well, God, Dennis, you know, that Dennis, you know, he gets into so much trouble. And it's like, no, you need to start taking responsibility. And so I stepped back from everything and I cut, even my girlfriends, like I didn't want any distractions from this time that I needed to myself. And I'd always surrounded myself with people. You know, I always felt like, well, if I have people around me and my friends around me,
then you won't be alone.
I won't be alone, and I won't think about my mom, and I won't realize that, wow, she's really not there.
We'll have more of my interview with Carmen Electra when we return. Welcome back. We're continuing with actress Carmen Electra. Now, what about the men in your life? Have you learned any lessons in that department?
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I don't regret.
Aside from Dennis's celebrity status and being a little eccentric and colorful and so on, was this a man who really provided you with the kind of love and nurturing that your mother did?
Not really. I think that, I mean...
And isn't that what you really wanted?
Yeah. And during that time, you know, when I lost my mom, Dennis was there. So he was that person that I connected with. And it was almost like you lose your mom, right? And then I'm sitting here by myself, and then I'm going, okay, I don't have any kids. I don't have anyone to take care of but myself, and that gets boring after a while. So I'm working my butt off, you know, trying to, you know, support who, you know what I mean? After a while, you get sick of buying yourself. You know, I could go buy myself clothes, or I can do all these things, and that was my goal, original goal. Like, God, I was like really selfish, you know. I want to be famous, and I want to be able to have this, and I want to buy this. And then you get that, and then you go, okay, there's a lot of other things missing, and those material things aren't really that important. And I think that with Dennis, it was that challenge, and he was there for me during a hard time. And it was also sort of like, I almost felt like I was the mother, and he's my son, that troubled kid that's always getting in trouble. And
so how does that make him there for you? If you're the mother and he's the son, and he's the troubled kid.
In a lot of ways, he wasn't there for me, I'll be honest.
So why do you get involved with men like that?
He's the only one that was really tough.
Well, the other men in your life?
I was in a relationship 4 years before him, and I was in a really great relationship, you know. I lived with this person. He's really close to his mom, and it really was that family environment. And I realized after 4 years, I said, I love this person, but I'm not in love with them. And I think that I wanted some excitement. I was ready. You know, I was ready to go out, and I was ready, hey, my career's, I'm on Baywatch, I'm doing this and that. I need to go have some fun, you know?
And you didn't have fun with him?
And I met Dennis, and I thought...
Sex appeal.
Here we
it
are,
all comes down
boy.
to sex, doesn't
Here
it?
we are, we're going. Well, he does have an incredible body. His body,
saying?
Sexy body, he really does.
That's the fatal flaw.
Where do you
Once you get over
body?
your sex drive, oh, it's so wonderful. Because you can really choose carefully, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Actress Carmen Electra. Do you ever think about aging? Do you ever think about what happens when the day comes, when it's not all up anymore?
I do. I mean, I do.
fall.
I really do. You know, of course you think of that. And then the upside to it is to say, okay, right now I'm going to work, and then my dream is to work, make a lot of money so that I can have a family and be able to support my kids. And then I think of it like that, okay, I'll go to another phase, and the next phase will be that I'll have, you know, beautiful children, and I'll be so busy and in their life and raising them that I'll be able to step away from this. You know what I mean? And maybe at some point really do live a normal life. And you know, everyone has to age, it happens, you know, but I remember my mom, she was incredibly sexy. Even when she was 50, you know, guys were still checking my mom out, and she was happy, you know. She's a beautiful woman, but she's always been really centered and really smart and really just a really down-to-earth good mother. And so I just always looked at her and just said, God, I want to be like her, you know, I want to be like my mom.
What about your father?
My dad, I love him. He's so sweet. My dad drove his Harley from Cincinnati, Ohio to Los Angeles. He's almost 60 years old now. And he wouldn't let me buy him a ticket. He's so old-fashioned. He's like, nope, nope, nope. I'm like, Dad, come on. I'm making enough money. Don't worry about it. I'll buy you. He's like, Nope, I'm going to ride the Harley. I'm driving the Harley. I'm like, Dad, be careful. You know, those are dangerous. Nope, I'm fine, I'm fine.
And what was he like when you were growing up?
My dad's really quiet, and he worked a lot. He works construction during the day, and then at night he plays guitar, so he played guitar in bands at night. So I didn't really have the closest relationship with my dad. But he never was like abusive toward my mother, always like very sweet, never once ever laid a hand on me. Never. And I think that to this day, and I love him for that, because he never yelled at me, never put me down. Mm-hmm. My mom was the feisty one. My mom was sort of the one.
Did she discipline you?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, my mom ended up getting pregnant at a really young age, and my sister did the same thing at 16 years old. Mm-hmm. So my mom said, not this one. No way, you're gonna have a career, you're gonna have a life. And so she was on my, pardon me, on my ass.
Right.
She was like,
all the time.
Oh yeah, anytime I got in trouble, Mom was right there, you know, so.
And how did she feel about your relationship with Dennis?
During the time I met Dennis, she was already sick. And when you have a brain tumor, the first one she had removed. So once she had that tumor removed, she started getting her memory back, and she could communicate, and we could have conversations. And I remember I put Dennis on the phone one time, and she said, he sounds like Barry White. and I don't really know if she really knew who Dennis was. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what she really knew that was going on. And I actually, I wasn't sure, and the tabloid stuff had just started around that time. And I remember when she was just getting ready to, she was really sick, and my family called and they said, you better get out here because the doctor said she has about a week to live. And I came home, and everyone said, she won't take her pills. She can't swallow. She can't swallow. And I watched her eat a plate of food, and I said, you know what? These people are stupid. She doesn't want to take the pills. She wants to die. And I remember I went over to her, and she couldn't talk, so I had to do all the talking. And I looked in her eyes, and I just said, Mom, it's okay. I know that you're suffering, and I'm okay. And I told her that I was still with the family I'd lived with. You know, be real, and that's the guy I was with for 4 years, because his mother was there, and my mom had a relationship with the mom, and I just didn't want her to worry. And I said, don't worry, Mom, I'm still there, and they're taking care of me, and she's gonna look after me like you do. And my mom passed away 2 days after, so it was like really letting go, and at that point, you know, that's when I became numb and put up that wall.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Talk to me about being single. Are you officially single?
Yes.
You're officially single.
Yeah.
Are you dating anyone? What are you doing? Are you dating yourself?
I am, as a matter of fact. That's what we talked about on Howard. I'm dating myself these days. You know, I just don't want to make a mistake, and I don't want to go through the whirlwind of chaos and drama. And I'm such a sensitive person when it comes to love. You know, I don't want to just give my heart away to be broken, you know, and I feel like I'm really protecting myself right now.
Explain the American male's obsession with the female breast.
I think that men are more into butts than they are boobs.
Really?
I really do. The
men you hang around with.
Really? I hear that, like if you ask someone, would you rather have someone with a flatter chest or a flatter butt, they would say, I'd rather see a flatter chest. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Then explain implants to me. Why do so many women have implants?
I think because they think it's going to make them feel more comfortable. Mm-hmm. They think they're going to feel sexier. They think that guys are going to be attracted to them. And that image, and you know, I'm a part of that, you know, doing Baywatch and shows like that. You see that image, because I remember before I had a boob job, I would look at, you know, other women and go, wow, you know, look at her body, and she doesn't have to worry about that, and you can wear.
Did you worry about that?
Clothes. I did. I'm not gonna lie.
What did you worry about? He won't love me. He won't be attracted to me.
No, not that. Not that they wouldn't love me, but I just thought it would be sexier. I just thought that it would make me happier. But then you realize it gave me more work. I'm not going to lie.
It made a difference.
I got a lot more work, but when you honestly, I think that's why so many women now are getting them reduced or having them taken out, because you realize that it's not really the key to your happiness, and you think that oh, if I have that, if I get my breasts done and they're larger, I'm going to be so happy. I have nothing to worry about. And a new set of problems come in, and you realize it has nothing to do with your inner self. It has nothing to do with it.
Talk to me about the movie you're in.
Scary movie. It is just the craziest, funniest movie. I read the script, and it was hilarious. And then when I found out that Keenan Ivory Wayans was directing the movie, I just thought, God, what a great person to direct a spoof movie. He's so good at spoofing things. And Sean and Marlon, his brothers, wrote the script. And I thought, what a great opportunity to show people that I really do have a good sense of humor and I'm willing to make fun of myself. And speaking of breasts, there's actually a scene in the movie where I get stabbed in the breast and the killer pulls out the knife and there's an implant on the knife. So I'm totally just making fun of myself and making fun of all of that. And had such a great time working on the movie. It was a lot of fun.
What do you think is the greatest lesson of your life?
The greatest lesson
that we can learn from your life?
Life is short, and you shouldn't let little things bring you down. Keep your head up, because we all have to pass on someday. And I just realized, you know, life, it's not so bad. I could be in Cincinnati and never have the career and the life I want. And it just, you know, it just goes to show you, if you focus and you work hard and you have a vision. You know, I used to sit and just visualize moving to Los Angeles. Our family didn't have a lot of money, so to make that step is like a really big step that almost never really happens. And so I would visualize it, I would make lists and write out my goals and what I wanted to do. And it just shows people that you can do it. And if you're able to have a job that you love, why not be happy with it?
And has LA given you everything that you fantasized about?
Yeah, actually.
Any disappointments?
I think the biggest disappointments were just sort of, in the beginning, dealing with the tabloids and dealing with people saying things that aren't true. That was really tough because, you know, you're from a small town and you have a dream and your family's proud of you and you're doing it and you're so happy, you're on cloud nine. And then all of a sudden, you know, I fall in love with a controversial person and I get sucked into that and I'm in the tabloids and things are being made up. And my family, like, I remember them being sad, you know, going, but that's not true. And we know you. And even my neighbors would say, but you would never do that. I grew up with you. I know what you're all about. And I realized that it happens to everyone, and you have to accept it. And if you let it bother you, then it's going to drive you crazy. But if you let it go and you accept it, it is what it is. And every celebrity has to go through it. And I learned that lesson, and it doesn't bother me anymore. Now I'm trying to stir up a little controversy because I haven't been in the tabloids lately. So I'm like, what can I do next?
Oh, no. All right, well, I'm sure you'll think of something.
I'm sure I will.
Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.